Anyone you can identify who's stood out this spring and caught your eye?
I think everybody's done a good job of improving from where we started to where we are now. We talked about that this morning. We made a lot of improvements in a number of areas, both individually and collectively as groups, and that's what this time of year is for. And training camp will be here in 34 days, so we got to hit the ground running.
Yo, Big Blue Nation, what's good? It's time to get hyped because we're diving into the hottest topic for our New York Giants. How we're going to explode out of the gate in 2025. After 2 rough seasons, the pressure's on, and we're all craving that early season magic. Can Brian Daboll and our boys in blue finally flip the script? Picture this. Week 1, we're on the road, facing a fierce NFC East rival, and the Giants come out swinging, disciplined, and ready to shock the league. That's the dream, right? But how do we make it reality? Today, we're breaking down the master plan to get our Giants off to a blazing start, straight from the experts and the heart of Giants Nation. Stick with me for 15 electrifying segments, packed with insights, stats, and pure passion for our New York Giants. What's the one thing Daboll needs to hammer home in training camp? Let's find out. Hit that like button, and let's roll. We've all felt the sting of slow starts, Giants fans. The last 2 seasons? Brutal. In 2023, we barely scraped by with a 1-1 start, thanks to a miracle comeback against Arizona. Last year, a 0-2 nightmare against the Vikings and Commanders, setting the tone for a franchise-worst 3-14 record. Why does this matter? Because 2025 is a make-or-break year for our Giants. With a killer schedule ahead, including road games against NFC East foes Washington and Philadelphia to open the season, we can't afford to stumble out of the gate. A fast start isn't just nice, it's survival. So, what's the key to turning this around? Experts like Emory Hunt from CBS Sports are shouting it loud. Situational football. But what does that mean? And how's it going to light a fire under our team? Drop your thoughts in the comments. What's been holding us back? Flashback to 2022, Giants Nation. Brian Daboll's first year as head coach. And what do? Started 2-0, finished 9-7-1, and stormed into the playoffs, snagging our first postseason win since 2011. That's the energy we need to channel in 2025. But here's the harsh truth. Since that magical 2022, our starts have been ice cold. In 2023, we were outscored 60-0 in the first 6 quarters of the season before waking up against the Cardinals. Last year, we got smoked 49-24 in our first 2 games. That's not Giants football. The question is, can Daboll rediscover that 2022 spark? With jobs on the line, his GM Joe Schoens, and maybe even some players, the pressure's cranked to 11. What do you think Daboll needs to do differently this time? Let's hear it. Let's talk about the gauntlet awaiting our Giants in 2025. Week 1, we're at Washington, facing a Commanders team that's been a thorn in our side. Week 2, it's Phillies-Eagles, another NFC East slugfest. Then, Week 3, we're home against the Kansas City Chiefs. Yep, Patrick Mahomes and company. This isn't just a tough schedule. It's the NFL's hardest, according to PFF. Dropping those first 2 divisional games could bury us in the NFC East race before September's over. That's why a fast start is non-negotiable, Giants fans. Emory Hunt dropped some wisdom on the Locked on Giants podcast, saying Week 1 is like an extension of the preseason, sloppy, chaotic, and ripe for upsets. If we're the most disciplined team on the field, we can steal a win. Who's got faith we can shock Washington in Week 1? Sound off below. So what's the secret sauce for a fast start? According to Hunt, it's all about situational football. Think clutch 3rd down conversions, avoiding dumb penalties, and mastering 2-minute drills. It's the little details that win games early in the season. Hunt's point is crystal clear. Week 1 is a mess across the NFL. Teams are still shaking off rust, and mistakes are everywhere. The Giants can capitalize by being the most mentally tough, situationally sound squad out there. Imagine us forcing a turnover in crunch time against Washington. Chills, right? But how we get there? It starts in training camp, which kicks off July 23rd at the Quest Diagnostics Training Center. Daboll's got to drill these situations relentlessly. What situational play do you think we need to nail? Penalties? Red zone? Hit the comments. Let's zoom in on training camp, Giants Nation. Rookies report July 15th. Veterans join on July 22nd, and the first full practice is July 23rd. This is where the 2025 season takes shape, and Dable's got a bold strategy to make it count. Emory Hunt's advice? Go hard on discipline. He says Dable should exaggerate penalties in practice to drive home how costly mistakes are. For example, a 5-yard offside penalty? Move the ball 15 yards. Holding on offense? Not 10 yards back, 20. That's how you burn it into players' minds. We don't beat ourselves. This approach could be a game changer, but it's intense. Do you think our players like rookie QB Jackson Dart or vet Russell Wilson can handle this kind of tough love? Or is it too much? Let's debate in the comments. Penalties have haunted us, Giants fans. In 2023, we racked up 104 penalties for 849 yards, 15th in the league, but way too many in clutch moments. Last year was worse. 112 penalties, costing us 921 yards. That's like giving opponents a free first down every game. Hunt's plan to exaggerate penalties in camp is about rewiring our team's DNA. Imagine a practice where every false start or offside resets the drill. It's brutal, but it could make us the most disciplined team in Week 1, ready to pounce on sloppy opponents like Washington. Picture this. Our defense, led by Abdul Carter and Chauncey Galston, stonewalls the Commanders because we're penalty-free. That's the vision. Which penalty bugs you the most? False starts, holding, or something else? Drop it below. Let's talk preseason, Giants Nation. Historically, Dable's been super cautious, giving starters and key reserves minimal snaps. In 2024, guys like Malik Nabers and Kayvon Thibodeau barely saw the field, as Dable focused on evaluating the roster's bottom and resting nagging injuries. But Hunt's calling for a shift. He says live reps at game speed are irreplaceable. You can't simulate the physicality of a real game in practice. Without preseason snaps, our starters might come out rusty, and those minor injuries could linger into the season. This is a gamble. More preseason reps could sharpen our starters, but risk injuries. Less reps keep them healthy, but might leave them unprepared. What's your take? Should Dable play the starters more in preseason? Vote in the comments. Speaking of starters, let's shine a light on our new QB duo, Russell Wilson and rookie Jackson Dart. Wilson, a 10-time Pro Bowler, is set to take the first snap in Week 1, but Dart's been turning heads in minicamp. Coaches are raving about his smarts and aggressive play, per Newsweek. Dart, our 24th overall pick in the 2025 draft, is QB2 heading into camp. If he keeps balling out, could he push Wilson for reps? A disciplined, situational offense led by either of these guys could be lethal against Washington's defense. Imagine Dart slinging a perfect pass to Malik Nabers in preseason, showing he's ready for prime time. Or Wilson carving up defenses with his deep ball, like he's done his whole career. Who's got you more hyped? Wilson or Wilson? Let's hear it. Malik Nabers is our X factor, Giants Nation. Despite missing spring practices with a toe issue, Dable's confident he'll be 100% for training camp, per ESPN. Nabers' 2024 rookie season was unreal. 1,487 receiving yards, 109 catches, 12 touchdowns, and he's poised to torch defenses again. A fast start hinges on Nabers syncing up with Wilson or Dart. If our QB can hit Nabers deep in stride, we could exploit Washington's secondary, which struggled last year, allowing 388.9 passing yards per game. Nabers in the slot? Good luck, Commanders. But here's the key: discipline. Nabers can't afford penalties like illegal shifts or false starts. If Dable's exaggerated penalty drills work, Nabers could be the spark for a Week 1 upset. What's your dream play for Nabers in Week 1? Share it below. Let's shift to the defense, where we've got some serious juice. First-round pick Abdul Carter, a game-changing linebacker, joins vets like Chauncey Galston, who had 5.5 sacks last year, and a secondary bolstered by safety Javon Holland. This unit's built to dominate. Hunt's situational football mantra applies here, too. Our D needs to avoid penalties like offsides or pass interference, which killed us in clutch moments last year. If Dable's training camp drills hammer home discipline, Our D could shut down Washington's run game early. Picture Carter blitzing and forcing a 3-and-out in week 1. Or Galston sacking the QB on a clean rush. That's the kind of chaos we need. Who's your pick for our MVP on defense this year? Drop it in the comments. Now let's talk about the stakes, Giants Nation. Dable and Schoen are under fire after a 3-14 season. Another slow start, and their jobs could be toast. But if we hit 2-1 or better in the first 3 weeks, we're back in the playoff conversation. Hunt's convinced that overemphasizing discipline will pay off. He says we can beat Washington, Philly, even Kansas City if we're the toughest, most prepared team. That's a tall order against Mahomes, but upsets happen when you're dialed in. What's it going to take? Every player buying in, Nabers, Wilson, Carter, Galston. Training camps where that mindset's built. Do you think our teams got the grit to embrace Dable's intense approach? Let's talk about it. Let's zero in on week 1 against the Chiefs. Kansas City's no joke. Back-to-back champs, Mahomes in his prime, and a high-powered offense that dropped 30 points per game last year. But week 1 chaos could be our edge. If our Giants are penalty-free and situationally sharp, we can keep it close. Imagine our D forcing a punt late, and Wilson leading a game-winning drive. Hunt's betting big on discipline, giving us a shot to shock the world. This game's at MetLife Stadium, our house. With Big Blue Nation roaring, we can rattle the Chiefs. What's your bold prediction for this matchup? Are we stealing a win or keeping a nail-biter? Hit the comments. Training camp's not just about the stars. It's about the depth guys, too. Players like guard Jake Kubas, who stepped up as an undrafted rookie last year, or safety Raheem Lane, fighting for a roster spot, could be X factors. SI says Lane's got a shot in a wide-open safety competition. Dable's discipline drills will test these guys' mental toughness. A fumble or penalty in camp could cost them a spot, but if they buy in, they could earn a role. Imagine Lane picking off a pass in preseason, locking in a spot. These battles make training camp must-watch. Who's your underdog pick to make noise in camp? Kubas, Lane, or someone else? Drop your hot take below. As we wrap this up, let's dream big, Giants Nation. A fast start in 2025 could redefine our season. Beating Washington, hanging with Philly, and upsetting Kansas City? That's the kind of run that puts the NFL on notice. Dable's got the blueprint. Situational football, exaggerated penalties, and maybe more preseason reps. If our players, Wilson, Nabers, Dart, Carter, execute, we're not just dreaming, we're contending. Training camps where it all comes together. What's your hype level for 2025? Are we going 3-0 to start? Or are you tempering expectations? Let's get this debate going in the comments. All right, Big Blue Nation, we've broken down the path to a red-hot 2025 season. From Dable's discipline drills to Nabers' comeback, Dart's rise, and a defense ready to dominate, the Giants are primed for a fast start. But I need you to bring the energy to the comments. What's your boldest prediction for week 1 against Washington? Who's your breakout star in training camp? Smash that like button, drop your thoughts below, and subscribe to keep up with all things New York Giants news. Share this with your fellow Giants fans. And let's get ready for July 23rd, when training camp kicks off at Quest Diagnostics. Let's go Giants, Big Blue forever. See you in the next video.